this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I am going to demonstrate another, it's still the same rose basically, but I had some requests for another rose tutorial. This time I'm going to be using red and a green together to make a red rose, and then red and a blue together to make a red rose. Just a couple suggestions some of my followers had, so I'm going to give it a try and see which one I like. I still think I favor the black with it, like I did in another tutorial. If you are new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button that you see, and then also make sure that you hit the notification bell. That will alert you whenever I post something new. The brush I'm using today is a 3/4 inch flat brush by Plaid. I'm going to be using Engine Red. These are all FolkArt Paints, Ink Spot, Thicket, and Sunflower. Alright, so I'm double loading my brush with the red and the green, and then I'm going to just come over to my practice paper and then just do a couple strokes. Now you don't have to do that, but it kind of gets you started. And then I'm going to just go right next to that same petal, kind of do the same strokes if possible, and come down. And then I like to start back this way, because I am a lefty, so I'm going to go over it again here because it got kind of dry. It's a little bit different when you're painting on paper. Your design doesn't seem to flow as easily as it does on the glass, just so that you know. And just do that. But the wiggling is so easy. I really like doing these kind of, oh, I keep getting dry there, these type of designs. And I'm going to put another one in here. Just kind of bring them in there together. Then I will go ahead and put another row. Now this is a pretty good size rose, so I might need to do more layers than what I typically would do. I'm kind of trying to overlap the bottom where I started and stopped, so that that's being overlapped. Just so I'm not looking like I'm just starting and stopping all at the same spot on each petal. Like I said, I might go ahead and add another round because I know that this is I'm using my bigger brush, so it's definitely a bigger rose than what I'm typically used to making, because I actually a lot of times use my 12-inch as opposed to this 3/4 inch. So there is definitely a big difference in size. So what are you thinking so far? Do you like it? The only problem I see with a lot of these colors is, at least from my eyesight, it's a little bit hard for me to see the variations. Yeah, I can, but like I said, it's just a little bit, tad bit difficult for me to see. So I'm just putting another set of petals around it, around what would conceivably be my center that hasn't opened yet. I just want to make sure that you can still see the layers below and distinguish between those and the top, so it doesn't all look the same. And then when I go around my center, I just do a couple little sweeps like this and push my brush down. So I'm going to go like that, and I bring it up and around, and then just push it and pull it. And then this is going to be more of a, not as big of a layer. It's kind of more like a side, or not a side, but just a little bit of a petal that you see. But there you go with that rose. Now we're going to switch over and do the red and the blue. Now for some reason my the ink spot paint is just really gunky, so I'm not sure why that is, because it's not really old. So I'm not sure why it's behaving like that. But anyways, let's move on. So I'm going to come over here, basically start it the same way, bring it down. It's kind of like a seashell in a sense. When you put your brush like this, you're just, okay, I'm mopping the floor. Do, 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 do. Alright, let's mop the floor over here. Do, 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 do. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to mop the floor. It's a little bit drier. Like a shell. Kind of like a seashell. And then I'm going to come here and just finish it up. And then I'm going to come back here, do my same thing, because I like to go over as much as I can over where I started and stopped, so it's not showing. And when I say that, I'm talking about where I started and stopped the layer below, if that makes sense. Now the only problem with this is you got to try very hard to keep the red on here so you can see it. You can see the blue is kind of overtaking. I just have to try a little harder to keep the red more noticeable. But I am going to do another layer like I did on this red and green one, because typically I would just do 2 of these layers, but because it's so big I'm doing 3. Go ahead and put my center in. I'm going to have it come out a little bit. Go like that. Alright. The blue. And have it go like this. You see where I'm saying that it makes it a little bit hard to see when it's so dark. That's why I really like my burgundy. Well, I guess it's more of a berry wine, not really a burgundy. But I like that rose so much because it makes the layers very easy to see. Pull it around. Come back over here. Go like this. Hopefully I'm in there. Pull it around. And then do this one. You're kind of staggering them a little bit too, so they're not all lined up. And do that. Hopefully you can see it. They're still kind of dark. I think the red is really a difficult color to work with. To make the layers stand out. Now for the run out of room on my plate. Before the actual petal or leaf petals, then if I were just doing just a single big rose, you could do one way or another, but I'm just going to go ahead and go out like that, bring it down, come back like this, bring it out, bring it down. I wish this paint was flowing better. And then bring it down and pull it. You put more on here again and do it. Do it again, do it again. Alright, so here we go. Lower it in, so I don't get too much in my center either. Lift it up and pull. And I can do one over here for it. Make it more like the heart-shaped kind and pull it down. And then come back here and do the same thing. Once again, I've got some dry edges. I just want to make it look crisper. Pull it and then come back here and go like that. And we're going to do the same over here. And we can do this kind of a petal. And then if we want to do one of these where, of course, we need more paint. And you can just leave it like that, or you can run a thing down if you wish. So I think it's kind of fun to do different types of leaves. I probably need to do a video on that. Or you could turn your colors the reverse side and do all yellow on the outside. And do that on here. Like that. That's pretty too. Or do a variation. Do some different ones. If you want to make it where you've got kind of a, let's see which way to do this. Oh, I don't know. God, these are all so big. But even if you wanted just to have some of the basic one-stroke leaves, you could do even a viney looking thing coming down, or do it in threes. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to make it like it's coming from here. Maybe I'll even turn one of this direction. Or you want to do filler flowers, you can do that too. And if you want to add just some basic, we're just touching, turning it a little bit and pulling it up. So again, we're just pulling it up. And then running a little vein through it. You can just do like little flowers, or not flowers, I'm sorry, little leaves that are just kind of cutesy. Yeah, I do need to do a tutorial on leaves. What do you think? I don't know. I love leaves. If any of you watch my videos, you know I love leaves. So yeah, I love to see a variation of them. So neat. And just come down, come down, come down. But anyways, kind of getting off the beaten path here, but this is how it goes. Very easy. It's just a matter of, you know, setting your thing and just wiggling like a shell shape, and then just keep going on. And then come back around to it. Now I'm a lefty, so you may have to start and stop in the different directions, but just do it whatever feels comfortable with whichever hand you use. I mean, I can do things a lot of times in both hands or both directions. Sometimes it's not that easy for people. So whichever way is easier, go ahead and do it. But I do want to show you one thing. I did a sample of this, and I want to show you because I keep talking about it. See, these are so dark to see. Now, you could take a brush and then do some lining in it to maybe make it stand out a little bit more. My favorite though, and this is one you see on my hangers a lot, is to do the berry wine with the wicker white, or even be with the warm white. Doesn't matter. Wicker white, warm white. Still has a good variation where you can see it. But I do. So this is going to be hard to do without getting the paint everywhere. I'm just going to go ahead and do it on here, show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to do, now with this of course is the white paper. It doesn't really do it justice. I probably should have done the warm white, maybe it would have shown up better. I'm just doing this very quickly just so you see what I'm talking about. A little white in here. But you see how it's just so much easier to see it when you've got lighter colors that you're dealing with. And even concentrating more on keeping it light, not so much of the burgundy or the berry wine. going to go through this with another layer just because it is bigger. Come back around this way. They're fun. I mean, it definitely is a fun flower to paint, I have to admit. And I'm going to go like this. I'm going to do some more layering here. Just put another little skirt around it, as I say. And then I'm going to come up here and just do this. I'm showing you. And then bring it up. Angle brushes are awesome for this too. In case you wonder. And you could just do 3 of these or 4, doesn't matter. And then come in here with the leaves. I'm going to just do them very quickly. I do have some of the berry wine in here still. It's alright. And some of the white makes it interesting, right? Makes it like, ooh, it looks like sherbet. Alright. And I'm going to do another funky one over here. Let's do it again. Back down. Keep wanting to dip it into my white. I'm going to go like this again. Pull it. Turn it, pull. Best product to practice on if you're trying to get your strokes or trying to figure out something stroke-wise, to me, is wax paper. And this is where you put the color in there and go like that, pull it. There you go. But see how much more that stands out as opposed to that, or, I mean, these are pretty too, don't get me wrong. These are pretty too, but I truly, actually for this, I really like the red and the black together. Tell me down below what you prefer. I will link my other video so you can give me an idea of what you actually like, what you prefer. Alright, I'm going to stop here. Make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I post something new. Make sure that you give me a big thumbs up if you like this video, and please hit that share button and share this with all your friends and family. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again. Have a good one.